Breaking now, a tropical storm watch just issued locally as Isaias moves off the east coast. The impacts we could feel from this storm, we are timing it all out for you. Classroom controversy, what we're learning about the reopening of Montgomery County private schools after a controversial mandate by the health department. Changing up the business model, we'll show you what local restaurants and retailers are doing differently to interact with customers and boost revenue.
Now, ABC 7 News at 6:30. On your side, we begin with a breaking news alert.
That breaking news, just within the last 15 minutes, a tropical storm watch was issued for parts of our area. This is Tropical Storm Isaias moves up the east coast, fighting to keep its strength. This is a live look at Cocoa Beach, Florida, where the storm is churning up the waves and bringing gusty winds. And this is a live look at Daytona Beach, where the waves may look high there, but it is a much different story. More sunshine and even some people out there on the beach, but that could change soon. And we are looking ahead and tracking what impacts Isaias could have on us locally, including the chance that it could re-strengthen. Meteorologist Brian Vandergraff is tracking the storm and the rain on the radar right now. A very busy evening for you, Brian.
And that's why a flash flood watch is also in effect for the entire DMV. Carl?
All right, Brian, thank you very much. And we have more breaking news right now. We have just learned in the last few moments that the Virginia National Guard is now mobilizing for a possible response to Isaias. Hard to imagine that under all those clouds you're seeing right there are strong winds and storms. This is actually what it looks like inside of the tropical storm. This is a new video of the hurricane hunters flying through the storm's center earlier today. Now, even though it looks pretty smooth, the crew on board says this was a bumpy ride to the middle because storms in transition can cause more turbulence. Well, the storm may be moving out of South Florida, but the wind and rain are not done with that area just yet. Al Peffley from our Sinclair sister station in West Palm Beach shows us the after effects of the storm.
In Stuart, Florida, Al Peffley reporting.
Well, as Isaias moves up the East Coast, mandatory evacuations are now being put into place in some areas along the North Carolina coast. But unlike years past, local officials are asking people not to go to storm shelters for safety in an attempt to slow the spread of COVID-19.
Also want to make sure we are not exacerbating the spread of COVID-19. And so to that end, we ask that, our residents follow the guidance of their local officials.
Well, emergency management officials are instead asking those who need to evacuate to stay with family and friends as a first option and suggest finding a hotel as another option. Meanwhile, residents in Virginia Beach are also bracing for the storm and its impacts, including a possible loss of power. Many are stocking up on gas, flashlights, and batteries, some even buying generators.
I'd like to see more clients be proactive instead of reactive, because if you're reactive, you're already behind the 8 ball and you may need some particular items that will help you and they're going to be sold out.
And he also recommends stocking up on candles, bottled water, battery-powered radios, as well as sandbags if you're in a flood-prone area. Now, anyone who might lose power should also prepare coolers with ice to preserve food. The Stormwatch 7 team will continue to track tonight's rain and the impacts that Isaias could bring your way. And you can follow right along with us. Just download the Stormwatch 7 weather app for alerts and the interactive radar. And to the coronavirus pandemic now, where we could get a decision this week on how Montgomery County private schools will proceed with reopening plans. This after a controversial directive by the county health department. County Health Officer Dr. Travis Gales mandated all schools close through at least October 1st, and that drew some criticism. The Archdiocese of Washington tells ABC 7 that it is now evaluating its choices on how to move forward. 7 on your side is following this story, and we will bring you new developments tonight on ABC 7 News at 11. And there is a push to help small businesses across the district stay afloat. This after the pandemic presents challenge after challenge. ABC 7's Justin Hinton is in Woodley Park as some of these businesses change up how they operate.
Reporting live in Woodley Park, Justin Hinton, ABC 7 News.
On this busy Sunday, including that SpaceX splashdown, the historic landing, the potentially dangerous conditions, and what's next for those astronauts. And those suspicious seeds identified. What new tests reveal about the seeds coming in from China and why they still may be a threat. And we continue to follow that breaking news. A tropical storm watch just issued for our area, and the Virginia National Guard mobilizing for storm response if needed. We time out the impacts in our area just ahead. A police corporal in Anne Arundel County is facing charges for stealing. Police responded to a death at a home in Pasadena back in April and later discovered that Corporal Jacob Miskell, a 5-year veteran of the department, may have stolen guns and other items from the home of the person who had died. After an investigation, the guns were reportedly found in Miskell's home. He is currently suspended without pay. And new at 6:30, dramatic moments as 2 NASA astronauts returned to Earth today. Their capsules splashing down off the coast of Pensacola. The astronauts spent 63 days on SpaceX's Dragon Endeavour. That spacecraft had been traveling faster than 17,000 miles an hour, slowing down to just 15 miles an hour before splashing down. And those astronauts will be reunited with their families tonight in Houston. Well, coming up on ABC 7 News, an update on those mysterious seeds coming in from China.
And the very latest on Tropical Storm Watch up for portions of the DMV, what that means, when it goes into effect, and how to be prepared. The news at 6:30 continues right after this.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 6:30 on your side.
The U.S. continues to report more COVID-19 cases and deaths than any other country. That's according to new numbers out today from Johns Hopkins University. And tonight, the White House Coronavirus Task Force Coordinator, Dr. Deborah Birx, warns that the U.S. is in a new phase of the pandemic. She says there are 20 states that she's watching very closely and that each state must tailor its response to lower the number of COVID cases.
It's not super spreading individuals, it's super spreading events, and we need to stop those. We definitely need to take more precautions.
A new forecast published by the CDC projects that the death toll could climb to 173,000 by the end of August. Heated debate continues on Capitol Hill about the next round of coronavirus relief. Leaders on both sides are digging in on what's been a main sticking point in those negotiations, the extension of the $600 boost to unemployment benefits that expired Friday. Democrats and Trump administration officials met Saturday for 3 hours but failed to reach a deal.
We proposed a 1-week extension at $600 so that while we negotiate a longer-term solution, at least all those people don't lose their money. And I'm surprised that the Democrats won't agree to that.
Talk to President Trump. He's the one who is standing in the way of that. We have been for the $600. They have a $200 proposal, which does not meet the needs of America's working families.
Discussions will pick back up on Monday between top leaders. 7 on your side with an update about those strange seeds coming from China. The USDA says it has identified some of those seeds and found them to be tomato and flower seeds. Now, despite that finding, those seeds will be sent to a lab in Beltsville, Maryland for a further review. The agency urges anyone who gets seeds from a sender that they don't know to not plant them. Now, scientists are still unsure if the seeds will lead to pests or plant disease. And we continue to follow that breaking news right now. A tropical storm watch just issued for parts of our area. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan just tweeted a few minutes ago saying all Marylanders should be prepared for potential flooding and tropical storm force winds. We want to go right back to Brian right now and talk about the local impacts that are happening here. I know you're keeping a close eye on those.